JYT, Master Coach, mentor, and founder of Team Paid to Play, powered by Solvay. Welcome to tonight's training call. If this is your very first experience with us here in Team Paid to Play, we welcome you. We're excited. The guy here on the line right now is one whose eyeballs are staring right at you there on the screen. And yes, that picture is incredibly photoshopped up. It's nice. That's what happens when professional photographers do it. So yes, but it will get you at least a visual of who I am if you're not sure. Tonight I'll be your guide by myself. Normally we bring in a bunch of trainers tonight. We're going to do some transitioning tonight. And as we go through this transition and we share kind of the bigger vision of where we're going and kind of the direction and some of the content tonight, I felt it most appropriate for me to do this just kind of running the show solo. Not a new thing for me. If you're familiar with me in any of my other programs with Paid to Play Academy, Coach Master Academy, or Movement Marketers Academy, training is not something new to me, nor is training virtually like we're doing tonight. So we're going to jump in really quickly, and I'm going to start off our conversation tonight using principle number 2 in our Team Paid to Play 7 core codes to being a creator. That principle number 2 is people are assets. People are assets. Now, if you're unfamiliar with what these 7 codes are, I'll run down them really quickly again for you. Principle and core number 1 is perspective determines action. Number 2, people are assets. Number 3, dollars follow value created. Number 4, exchange creates wealth. Number 5, force destroys agency and prosperity. Number 6, certainty is the currency. And number 7, creation is perfect. So we're going to walk through one of these every single week, again, kind of taking it a little deeper and then showing you how those apply to the conversation of Solvay and ultimately building a business here with Team Paid to Play. So let's look at the 2 words here right out of the gate, the idea of people. People, these are the individuals, the humans that you connect with day to day. Now, these people may be individuals that you connect with virtually. Right, so now we're going to talk a little bit about Facebook and some of the connections you might have with people's technology, or these could be people that you actually connect with physically, meaning that you see them face-to-face and you're engaged with them on a daily basis. Right, those are 2 very different conversations, but nonetheless, humans, people, are the individuals we engage with day to day. And we are going to consider here as one of the core codes of ethics here with Team Paid to Play as a creator is that these people that we communicate with are assets. Now, the phone service is fantastic with Solvay. Right? But the phone service has no value if there are not what? People. Isn't that crazy? Right? What would you do with a cell phone if you couldn't talk to someone else? What would you do with a cell phone if you couldn't communicate, check your status on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, whatever? What would you do if there wasn't a person on the other side of this thing? Now, the other thing that's interesting is we can take our phone and we can say this is a thing. We can also take money and we can put that out there and we can say money is a thing also. And on one side of that thing is you, and on the other side of that thing is the other person. Right? Now, if I get confused and I start to look at the thing, the cell phone contract, I start to look at money, the thing, the piece of real estate, the car, the house, the stuff, when I start to look at these things as the true asset, see, and this is where accounting's got it completely jacked up. I did some stuff with my accountant today and yesterday, and as we're going to work through some different tax strategies, it was interesting because, again, on a profit and loss statement, we list these things as assets. Right? And at the same time, we don't list people. And so what I'm going to have you consider is that as we dive into our training tonight, the most valuable asset in your business is not the cell phone service. Okay, it's fantastic, $49 a month, $49 a month, no contract, no credit checks, unlimited voice data, text, 4G, nationwide network. Congratulations. Woo! It's fantastic. And that's a commodity. It's a commodity because it's duplicatable. It's a commodity because it's phone service. And we're grateful that Solvay's building what they're building. But the thing that I want you to look at is Solvay's real key tagline is powered by relationships. And that relationship is not you making love to a cell phone or having communication with a cell phone. It's having communication with the people on the other side of that device. And so as we build our teams, I want you to remember that throughout the entire marketing conversation, core code of ethic number 2 here at Team Paid to Play is that people are assets and we treat them this way. Now, one of the ways we do this is through a particular marketing strategy I'm going to rock right out of the gate with really quick, which is called building your value network. And so our marketing principle for tonight, and then I'm going to show you how to apply that to Facebook. I'm going to give you some actions on what you can do from there, and I'm going to head into some things you need to know when it comes to Solvay and changes and things that are coming up there. But I thought we'd get to the fun stuff first, the sugar and dessert before we get to the meat. Well, I should take it the other way around. This is really kind of the meat, but the meat is sugar in these calls because it's the hardcore marketing training. So here's the thing I'm going to have you look at, right? If people are assets, based on here, code number 2, this means we are constantly in the world of making deposits into other people's lives, right? These deposits into other people's lives, we could say are value creation. Now, as we make these deposits into other people's lives, and let's say this is you and this is others, and on a daily basis, you're creating value that is perceived value from them, right? Could be you make a post on Facebook and you support someone, you like them, you make a comment, you go help somebody move at their house, you babysit somebody's kids, you help somebody with a marketing problem they have, you assist somebody with their broken cell phone, you assist someone to make money. You do something in which you solved here's the key, you solved some kind of a problem for who? People who are the assets. And when this occurs, what we engage in is what we know as exchange. Now, exchange leads us down to core code number 4, which is exchange creates wealth. Right? So we engage with these people, and these people have problems, and when we exchange with them, we create wealth. Well, one of the things that we do before we exchange and request money is that we have to make sure that we're in a place in which we have made deposits such into other people's lives that we can actually request a withdrawal. See, I mean, think about it this way. You would never go down to the bank and say, hey, you know what, bank? Give me $10,000. Maybe you would do this, but it wouldn't go down so well. You go down to the bank and you say, you know, I'd like to make a withdrawal of $10,000. The problem is, let's say in the previous 60 days or your entire time with that bank account, let's say that your current balance was $52.37. Now, that's what your balance is, and you came over and said, I'd like to make a withdrawal of $10,000, and they said, that's really, really cool that you have a request like that, and we're going to go ahead and deny you. Why? Because you do not have sufficient deposits to request that kind of withdrawal. Now, direct sales, network marketing, affiliate marketing, online marketing, most people tend to go around the opposite direction, right? So they're over here, and they get into an opportunity, and they look out into the world, and they immediately forget code number 2, which is people are assets, and they immediately begin to forget code number 3, which is dollars follow value created, and they forget code number 4, which is exchange create wealth and creates wealth. And because they don't have someone like our team and our council of coaches teaching and training them, they run out and they vomit on everyone, right? What I mean is they get this cool opportunity to run out and they tell the world, and they're like, woo! And we say ignorance is on fire, and that ignorance itself is bliss. And so we take that ignorance on fire, and we send them out into the marketplace, and we ask them to vomit. And as they vomit, what they're really saying is they're going out to other people, and they don't necessarily see those people as assets. What they see those people as is trio pay. And they say, well, if I could just get 3 of my friends to hurry up and get on this cell phone service, then that trio pay is going to equal $20. And see, what they start to forget is that these are humans. These are people. They have problems. They have marriage issues, addictions, lost their job, have kids, you know, struggle with life, just like you. And it's easy to forget that. And we wrap them up, we call them a trio pay, and we're like, cool, $20, yes. And we forget they have lives, and there's something going on with them, and there's something going on in their life, and there's things that are going on that if we actually took a second to breathe for a moment, we looked in their life, getting that $20 would be significantly easier because it would come as a result of having created value for assets called people. Okay? But see, that's not what normally happens. We come and like bankrupt knuckleheads, we run out into the marketplace and we call people up we haven't talked to in 2 years, and the first thing we say to them is we vomit on them about an opportunity. What we're really saying is we're going down to the bank and we're making a $10,000 withdrawal. The problem is we haven't made a deposit in 2 years, and we're still riding that $42 we left in there that's gaining about, let's see, I looked at Chase Bank yesterday, 0.30% on a 12-month CD. Isn't that fantastic? It's not 0.30. Sorry, it's 0.03% on a 12-month CD. Yeah, cool. Give me your money for 12 months. You're going to grow 0.3. I used to have an account like that. A bank account I actually left some money in from years and years and years ago, and it grew and it grew and it grew, and I get a tax statement every single year for like 15 cents or something, and it was growing, right? And so you've got this minimal deposit value in other people's lives. You know, you go to John, who you haven't talked to in 19 months. And you reach out to John, and John's like so excited to connect with you because, see, 19 months ago, you and John, you were tight, you were cool, but life happened and you and John separated a little bit for some reason. And so you're trying to reestablish trust and connection with John, and instead of coming in and doing the first thing, which is to make a deposit into John's life with no strings attached, Instead of doing that, what you do is you come back and you look for a gateway entrance and you try to request a $10,000 withdrawal from John. Now, if you had some serious deposits from the past into John's life, you'd probably get that withdrawal. But for most people, that's not the case because we haven't been trained to create value. We have been trained to consume value. See, there's a big difference. You can go into marketing and you can be a consumer. What I mean by this in being a consumer of marketing is you go out and you pitch the world and you are a taker of value. So your whole focus is you don't see people as assets, you see money as an asset. You see people as the thing in the way to help you get to money. And so if you could just rip and get the people out of the way, you could get to the money. And so instead of being strategic about your marketing, you become a pitch man, a pitch woman, and you become a taker from society instead of a creator, a consumer instead of a creator. Right? Well, we're saying we're going to flip the switch a little bit, and I'm going to teach you how to do that through what I call a value network. And this is not only going to bless you in your business here with Team Pay to Play, it's going to bless you in your life, period, as a marketer, as a business person, as a creator. So the value network says, listen, we're going to make deposits before we make withdrawals, and we are going to position ourselves in this deposit and withdrawal process by creating and placing ourselves in the center of this experience. So let's take you and we'll put you in the middle. And let's say that there are 12 relationships that you were looking to build with your team called Solvay. And maybe right now, and that's not 12, I understand that. Just play with me here. Let's assume that you've got all these relationships, and we'll call this relationship Bob, and we'll call this relationship Mark, and we'll call this relationship Sarah, and we'll call this relationship Johnny. And so you're following the process we've got going on at teampaytoplaytools.com, and you went to step one, you started to build your list. And you said, okay, you know what? Bob showed up on my list. And Mark showed up on the list, and Sarah showed up on the list, and Johnny showed up on my list. And, you know, Bob, I haven't really talked to Bob in about 12 months. Mark, you know, we've only had like 2 or 3 conversations. We hung out at a networking event. Sarah, me and Sarah were tight. You know, we were business partners, but, you know, I haven't talked to her in 6 months. Or Johnny, man, Johnny and I, we hang out every single day. Now, each of these individuals, it's a different dynamic. Now, I have some kind of connection with Bob, Mark, Sarah, and Johnny, but my relationship with them is different. This means that I must customize my approach to building my value network with these individuals. I can't just run straight at Bob and Mark and Sarah and Johnny and give them a blanket pitch. Because a blanket pitch does not come across as value creation. Hence, it does not set up the conditions of being able to allow you to make a withdrawal after having made a what? A deposit. Also, if you just do a blanket approach, you're using old school marketing, which is mass marketing, not direct response marketing. See, mass marketing is we just throw a general message over an entire audience and we see what happens. Direct response marketing means that we must customize our engagements with individuals. Okay, now the better you get at identifying your target market, the easier it is to do this. But we're going to assume that you haven't done much of this, right? You're new to marketing, you're new here to the team, you're trying to figure it out. So you build your list, and you got Bob, Mark, John, and Bob, Mark, Sarah, and Johnny, and you're saying, okay, well, how am I supposed to engage these guys, right? Because I made my list. Now I'm in the engagement process. So step 2, right, in that process we shared with you at teampaytoplaytools.com. And I got my list, and I'm trying to figure out how do I go and engage. The first thing we need to understand is that, number 1, again, core principle, and that is that perspective determines action. This is core code ethic number 1 of being a creator, is perspective determines action. It's understanding that the way you see the situation is going to determine the kind of actions that you take. Now, if I come into this conversation and I'm a mass marketer, then my perspective would determine the kind of action that I take, which would be a mass marketed approach, which is I create one email, I carbon copy it, I cut and paste it, and I blast my list. I blast the relationships, and I say, come play with me in Team Pay to Play. It's fantastic, it's amazing, and you should come. Okay, but we're going to shift that perspective and have you consider that this is built based on relationships. And in the beginning, your foundation of the team that you're building, it's crucial that you do this with a solid foundation, right? Solid foundation means that you must actually engage. That's why we call it engagement, not pitch. Okay, it's build your list, engage your list. Build your list, engage your list. Second core was we said again that people are assets. And we said, okay, well, if people are assets, if this is true, then we get to really care about them. And so how do we really do that? You know, how do we really care about other people? And how do we build a network that would empower me to be the center connector of a movement of people? meaning to be the go-to guy or the go-to gal who was the connector because you had information and you had relationships. See, notice there's two words in network marketing. Network marketing. These are two different conversations. Having a network and knowing how to market, yes, go hand in hand, but they are two different activities. Networking is about building a network of relationships. Again, Solvay, powered by relationships. Show me, listen, your job is to find a way to build a network. You know the only difference between me and a lot of people I meet every single day is that my network is more powerful than theirs. Why? Because I have been following the process of building a value network for years, while most people around me have been takers. I have been giving value, not just taking value. Okay, well, let's look at this, what this looks like. There are some core questions that have to be answered by these people, right? We got Bob, we got Mark, we got Sarah, and we got Johnny. Okay, and whatever your names are on that step one of building your list, fantastic, but we've got these names, right? And now we've got to figure out the gold nuggets that exist within that space with those four. The first thing we've got to figure out is where are they right now? Where, I don't even know if I spelled that right. If I didn't, that's okay. Where are you now? So if I reach out and I start having a conversation with Bob, Mark, Sarah, and Johnny, my first goal is to figure out a point of reference of where they are now. We could call this point A. Okay. Second is I've got to figure out where are they going. And we're going to change this to they so that it matches. Where are they going? And we'll call this point D. Okay, so there's point A and there's point D. There's where they are and there's where they want to go, right? We could say this is the current reality of life, and the current reality sets what's known in influence and sales as context. It's also known as the frame. Okay, a person you talk to, so you could talk to Bob. I have a friend of mine right now. His entire reality has been rocked because of what's going on in his marriage. I have a friend of mine whose entire reality has been rocked because of a disease that they just found out their child has. There's another individual I know whose entire current reality has been rocked because they just lost their job. On the flip side, there's another individual I know whose entire reality has been rocked because he rocked it in his marketing. He made $75,000 last month. Made that much money in his life. Never made more than $8,000 a month. Made $75,000 last month. See, the current reality of those four people, very different. If I try to take a blanket approach to the conversation with those four, good freaking luck. Good luck. Not only do I come across as a jackass, but I also come across as somebody who's ready and committed to burn relationships, and I don't build a value network. Because you have a value network lets me understand where people are at now. You can't assume that the person you knew from 2 years ago is the same person today. Look where you are. You know, how's life going for you based on where you were 2 years ago? Things changed a little bit. You know, you see, we have this interesting thing in our mind as human beings, and that is that we actually believe that friend from high school is still that friend from high school because it's the last point of reference we have in our mind about that friend from high school. But we have no idea who that friend is now. You know, you haven't talked to somebody in a few months. You haven't talked to somebody in a few years. You can be assured that their life has changed, and oftentimes in radical ways. So you've got to redefine that relationship and get to a basis of where they are now and where they want to go. Why? This helps you understand what they want, and it helps you understand where they are today. Okay, these create these 2 points of reference. Question number 3, or point number 3 we're looking for is, what do they need? What do they need? Okay, and this need itself is the desired first step. See, there's something in their world, and we call this point B, there's something in their world that they think they need next, like right now. They may say they want to go to D, but there's something they need right now. Right? That could be money, could be assistance, could be help, could be somebody to talk to, could be whatever, help with an opt-in page, it could be talking about their marriage, help with counsel on a troubled child, whatever. But there's something in their world right now that is of preeminent importance. It's what they feel like they need next. It's what they need right now. Question number 4. This is, what is the biggest challenge right now? Okay, now oftentimes point 3 and point 4, number 3 and number 4, or B and C, which I'm going to put down here. C kind of links into this game also. Tends to be that what they need next is a solution to what? One of the biggest challenges they're facing right now. Painful reality. Okay, so I'll give you an idea. I was talking to a friend of mine this weekend. Where is he now? Right? Well, we got into a conversation. We were driving. I was on a business trip this weekend, and I was driving from the airport in my rental car out to where my appointment was. I'd do some consulting, and as I was driving, I'm on my phone, and I'm talking to this friend of mine who I haven't talked to in 18 months, literally 18 months. Great friend of mine from the past. And I said, where are you at now? Now, prior to our conversation, I knew we were having a conversation. We went through some Facebook back and forth that I'm going to share with you here in just a bit. And we talked back and forth, and then we got in a conversation. My first goal was for 20 minutes I let him talk about where he was at now. And I just asked him questions. Second thing, I was asking him where he wanted to go. What was he wanting? What was his vision for where he wanted to go in the next 6 to 12 months? The third thing I said is, what do you need now? And what do you need next, and what do you see as the biggest challenge or hurdle in your way? What he was struggling with was his perception of his church. And he's like, I don't know how to fit into my mind what I'm seeing happening in my life and what I'm seeing happening in what I thought I believed my whole life. Help me. Now, my job was not to get him an answer. It was to identify what was going on. Now, this is the number one thing he felt he needed an answer to, is that he couldn't figure out. He was so angry to be at his church on Sundays, and he was so angry to be in these places, just angry. Right? So I saw an opportunity to serve his biggest challenge. And this, what I'm about to share with you, my friends, is the golden nugget to influence. The golden nugget to influence. And if you catch it, your online marketing, your offline marketing, your networking, everything you do as a leader, speaker, trainer, creative coach, your whole game in business and life, here in Team Pay to Play and outside of Team Pay to Play, will be affected by this one thing. See, he doesn't care about Solovay. He doesn't even care. He doesn't care even about me. What he is concerned about right now is this challenge, this painful block in his way. And what he needed was assistance, not with, hey, dude, you need $49 a month, $49 free, 9 people get your cell phone for free, 4G unlimited data, voice text. He did not need that conversation yet. What he needed was trust from me. You want to talk about how violating that is? I've had people violate me like this over the years in network marketing, right? Or mass marketing approaches, which is people only ask you questions to figure out what you're up to so they can find an in and they can pitch you. And it's so out of alignment and integrity. It violates everything about trust. You're like, dude, I was just vulnerable with you and then you pitched me. And what happens is a constriction of trust and a regression, and you don't build a value network from this place. What you build is psychotic circus. What you build is burned friendships. What you build is people who don't trust you, who always think you have an agenda. Now, I came in full intention to do the following. Here's the goal. Once you have this data from people and the engaged process, you need to answer this question. How can I assist or solve this problem in the next 48 hours? Here's what I gave him. I gave him 3 action steps. I said, brother, here's what I want you to do. When you go to your church service, I want you to have this conversation in your mind. I want you to journal these activities. Second thing, I want you to consider this as a new frame of reference, a point of view, the way of seeing things. And third, I want you to go buy this book and begin reading it. I then followed up with a text about the time I figured he'd be going to his church service on Sunday, and I sent him a text message reminding him of what we had talked about on Friday. I followed up with an email today, seeing how things went, and things went fantastic for him, and he was very grateful. And on Thursday, we have a conversation to talk about his future when it comes to Team Paid to Play. Now, here's the thing I want you to understand. The ultimate goal for me was to what? Create value. Now, the first thing I had to go get was trust and reestablish trust with my friend. Second thing I had to do was deliver results in advance. Advance of what? My withdrawal. Deliver results in advance. I needed to make a value bank deposit in his life. So I did. This created a shift in trust with him and created an opening for he and I, which has led to an appointment and a conversation, as well as I got a message right before the call that he had watched all 4 videos at paytoplayrevolution.com and was very excited about our conversation. He's a big networker too. Now, was my intention coming in to try to get him in a team paid to play? It was one of many possible outcomes, yes. But my primary goal was to sweep that away and to create value. So let's do a little summary here about Value Network. Your goal over the next 7 to 10 days is to do what? It is to build your value network. Now imagine what happens. Look at this. You got Bob, you got Mark, you got Sarah, you got Johnny. And all 4 of these individuals, you have the core 4 questions answered for all 4 of them, and here you are sitting in the middle. Do you realize that you are the most powerful person in that space right now? You have access to the reality, the future hope, the current challenge, and the painful block that these individuals all face, and you have access to the King's kingdom. You've got access to the jewels of being able to serve Bob, Sarah, Johnny, and Mark. And do you think it might be possible that Johnny might have something that might serve Bob? See, so when you go out to talk to the new one, let's say her name is Jessica, and you meet Jessica online on Facebook today. When you meet Jessica, you find out Jessica has a problem that she needs help with, but no problem, because you know Bob can actually solve that problem pretty quick for her. So in your 48-hour window, as you talk with Jessica, you're connecting Jessica with Bob so that Bob gets connected with Jessica and help her solve that problem. Now, the interesting thing is you just connected and built a friendship, a partnership, but you still became the most valuable person in the room. You're the connector. You're the one who's networked. See, there used to be a saying, you know, it was all about who knows you, right, and who you know. And these go back and forth. And I'd say they're dually important. People need to know who you are, but at the same time, you need to know who people are. And if people don't know who you are, then your first step is to figure out to know how you can get to know other people. So as you go to the engaged process, then people ask me the question, well, how do I reach out and connect with these individuals on Facebook? Here is my recommendation. As you study in step number 1, and you're beginning to build your list, okay, following the process at teampaytoplaytools.com, build your list. And you've brought down the pictures and you followed the whole process. The second one is engagement. If you're going to do it on Facebook, with engage that list and do it on Facebook, you're going to use 2 different strategies. Number 1 is post an open comment on a thread or picture on their wall. I'm going to switch over to my computer, and I'm going to show you what I mean by this, and I'm going to do it real time. So hang tight with me, and I actually have somebody pulled up that I want to re-engage with right now, who's a buddy of mine from the past. He and I have not had a personal conversation in a year. He is a fantastic man, and I'm going to show you right now. All right, my friends, here we go. You should be seeing a screen right now, and here is the person we are going to talk about, Travis Lane Jenkins. Travis made $28 million in the last 4 years. As a marketer, he is a good friend of mine from a mastermind that we're part of with one of our mentors, Brendan Bouchard, another mentor, Dan Kennedy. Travis is awesome, right? I have a basic idea of what's up with Travis. Travis and I have talked a little bit over the next little bit. I come to Travis's page. Travis is on my list. I took Travis's picture, and I put Travis on my new list. The list I'm building in step 1, build your list. Step 2, engage your list. Now I need to do my research. And I'm saying, okay, one of the first strategies I can do is I can post something directly on Travis's wall. And I'm going to do that in either one of 2 ways. First, let's cruise a little bit through his wall and see what we can pull up. I like it. Tony, you need to stop. Tony's on a call right now. You cannot, listen, none of you suckers message me during this training so that you can get on the show again. I love Tony trying to get attention. Tony is on our call right now, one of our core coach or council of coaches. All right, so I'm going to come to Travis. Let's say Tony's already back in my world, so we don't worry about that one for that right now. He's already part of the Value Network. I want to add Travis to the network. So first, I'm coming to Travis's page, Travis Lane Jenkins. And I want to find out more about what Travis is up to. Okay, first thing I can come out and look at where they're working. I can look at where they're living, look at where they're from. I can come over and look at pictures. So this might be the first thing. I come in and click on his pictures. I'm going to come in and I go, all right, here's a couple of pictures I like to look for. I like to look for the most updated pictures, right? Here's one thing I do know about Travis is he has 2 Lamborghinis, right? And he always, I think actually that one is his, the gray one. No, I don't think that one is his. Maybe that one is his. I don't know. I know all those are not his, but I know he has one right now. So here I'm coming through. I'm looking, okay, there was a car show. He was obviously at a Lamborghini convention in April, right? So I know that's going on with Travis. I'm like, okay, cool. So that's one thing. I back out, and I'm like, all right, well, what else? Let's come look at some experts industry. Okay, so this was an event with Brendan Bouchard that happened last November, the experts industry in San Diego, California. So Travis hanging out. I was actually with Jeff Walker, great guy, just launching product launch formula right now. I come through and I'm looking at all these pictures. We do know this. Travis is a picture. Oh, I love those guys. Anyways, so I'm looking at pictures, right? So I know Travis went to experts industry with Brendan Bouchard last fall. Let's see what else I can find out. Me and the family in San Antonio. All right, so let's check this out. Let's see where. So this was 2009. Those pictures are way outdated, so I'm not going to spend much time worried about those. Come back out. I'm like, do I see anything else intriguing-wise, photo-wise? It doesn't really look like it. Not a lot of 2012 pictures. Travis didn't take much. Okay, cool. So I back out of his page, and I come back out to the front part of his page. Whoops, let me come back around. Come back over the front of his page. I'm like, all right, well, what can I see about the posts he's making? So 56 minutes ago, Travis posted on his wall, strength and growth, come only through continuous effort and struggle by Napoleon Hill. I keep coming down. Be the light that helps others see. Posted a picture yesterday, another Napoleon Hill. Saturday, another Napoleon Hill. Looks like Aaron posted on his page. And we come down here, Sandra Chapman, business expertise, honesty, integrity. Now, I knew that Travis had just recently launched a radio show, so I click on here, Diamonds in Your Own Backyard, and I find out that Travis, this is a new site. Okay, I hadn't actually seen this one. So Travis got his radio show going right now. Okay, cool. That's something new. I didn't know that he'd actually launched it all outright yet. So we'll come back again, and let's come back to his page. So I'm kind of scrolling down. I'm figuring this out. Now, I can do one of 2 things, right? I can come directly on his page and be like, Travis, my brother, it has been a while. I love your Facebook banner. And looks like you are as passionate about Napoleon, I can't spell. How to spell it? Napoleon Hill as I am. Keep up the work, brother. GJ Dub. Post. Okay, so I can post directly on Travis's wall. Okay, that's one thing. I can also come over here to my side Facebook comments, and I can look and see if Travis is online right now. Doesn't look like Travis is online. Okay, so the next thing I can do is I can come up and I can send Travis a message.
Travis, what's up, brother? Looks like you launched your radio show. Would love to be a guest and have you speak and share with my peeps on the updated brand and messaging of your business and strategies. What does your week look like? I can chat on Thursday a.m. Let me know, my man. Love and light. Garrett J. White. Now watch what I'm going to do in the PS. Okay, I'm going to come down to the PS section. Here's what I'm going to do here. Understand the PS section of any message you post is one of the most crucial. In the PS section, I'm going to actually post something that would tie this into pure customization with him. Okay, and I was struggling, and he and I were in a mastermind. Like, I was just struggling. It was before I tore my Achilles tendon. It was last spring, so spring 2011. And we were at this mastermind together in San Diego, and he just sat and listened to me. And I was like crying, and he was sharing with me, and I was like struggling with some of my business and the way it was running and my marriage and my life, and I was just having a hard time, and I just kind of emotionally dumped on him. And he sat there and he just went out of his way to support me and be there for me, and at the same time followed up with me and his wife and talked me through a bunch of stuff, talked me off the ledge on a couple of things. It was fantastic. So at the bottom of this PSN, I'm going to customize it based upon how I can remember a really deep emotional connection with last act. I will never forget the love and support you offered me emotionally last year at Brendan's mastermind. I would love to repay the debt. Can't wait to chat.
Send. Now, I'm going to take this to a whole nother level, right? Because I actually have an idea of what Travis is up to with a lot of his businesses. He's a very, very good marketer. So I'm going to come back to my page, and I'm going to do something fun.
Which is I'm going to come back here and say, Travis, on my wall, I am sending a huge shout out to my brother from another mother. This man showed up for me in a way many could not have last year. Check out his radio show. If you are a creator or coach, this is right down your alley. Okay, now his radio show, let's see if I can pull it back up here in history. Diamonds in Your Own Backyard, that was a site. Oh, shoot, I'm going to have to go back and type that again. So I'm going to pull up his site, and again, I know this is taking a little bit of time, but I want to show you real time how I go about doing this. So I'm going to have to do it again. So I'm going to post that link, so it pulls up the Diamonds in Your Backyard. Then I'm going to tag Travis so that it pulls up on his page. A huge shout out to my brother, Travis. If you are a entrepreneur, marketer, or coach and are looking for legit training for free check out his radio show.
Post. Done. Okay. Now, what I want you to see, then I can also come to my Facebook page, and I'm going to do something fun. I'm going to highlight this post for him.
So I'm going to come up here, I'm going to push star, okay, and look what it did to my post. So you notice I can shrink it. Okay, so I just highlighted. I can highlight it or unhighlight it. If I unhighlight it, it's small. If I highlight it and I push this highlight, it's going to make it big again. I'm going to make it big for a day between now and then. Okay, now look at what I just did. I'm going to come back over to my page. Again, Travis and I are not talking over the phone. We haven't had any communication that way. But look at the engagement process. Okay, the engagement process, I just opened up some conversation opportunity for us. Right, and I did 3 things. First, I built and put him on my list, and he is on my list. I'm rebuilding some more lists right now of some like just baller marketers, big-time players. I've got some strategies for them to play with us in Team Pay to Play that I just think is going to crush. Now, I would do the same exact strategy regardless of who the person was. It would just be different, right? But the strategy would be the same. People fundamentally love it when you praise them and you show that you are going to promote them or you are at least there to support them. Notice I did 3 things. First thing I did is I posted on his wall. On his wall. Second thing I did, okay, or B, is I private messaged him. And the third thing, and during the private message, I asked to chat. The third thing I did is I posted on my wall, and I tagged him. Now, what this will do is it will pull up. All 3 of these are going to pull up. When he pulls up his Facebook account tonight or tomorrow, it's going to show all 3 of those. It's going to show that I posted on his wall. It will show up as a signal in this thread, a little red identifier. Second, it'll show up he has a private message from me. And third, it's going to show that I posted and tagged him on my wall. Now, here's the thing. I've been doing this for years, my friends. And the Internet just allows us to do it faster. It also allows you to be stupider faster. Right, so our message today is simply this, and I'm going to go into some details for the last 15 minutes of our training today, just some Solvay stuff that I need you to know. Okay, your goal is to engage, okay, over the next 7 to 10 days, to engage, regardless of how much past history you had. You're going to follow the same process in step 2 engagement. You're going to engage between 10 to 20 people. For those of you who are building 12 by 12 by 12, then I would recommend that you start engaging, pick it on a daily basis. Maybe tonight you engage 5 people. Tomorrow you engage 5 people. Wednesday you engage 5 people. Thursday you engage 5 people. Friday you engage 5 people. Do you realize if you do that this week and you spend time on those 5, that's 25 people that you've engaged using this strategy in 1 week, 5 days. Now, let's assume from this that you get in conversation with 50% of those people respond. That's it. That's 12 people that respond back to you. It's actually 12.5, but we're going to get rid of the half a person. We're just going to go to 12. 12 people respond back to you. And of those 12, let's say that you end up having a conversation with 8 of those people. My friends, this is a sustainable model that you could do every single day. There's a gal in Solvay right now. Her name is Donna Wirtz. She is Stacy Wallace's mother. She is Ryan Wirtz's mother. She has built her business on her own, has a network of over 1,000 people, started with no list, no marketing expertise, nothing. All she does all day long is do this. Now, she doesn't call it Value Network. See, to you, I want you to see that when you do this with this many people, do you understand you're going to quickly get to a place in which you have 100+ people who you are engaged in their life online and you are interacting with them. And the benefit we have today is that virtual interaction in a lot of ways is as credible as face-to-face interaction. Okay, we're going to shift gears radically. There's your training for tonight. Okay, we're going to go through some sign-up steps. Sign-up steps, things you got to know with Solvay as it goes on right now. Okay, one of the big mothership building opportunities for you and I this week is happening September 21st is the launch, the official and national launch for Solvay. We had 9 people from our team qualify. And it was just fantastic. And we're going to put out some special surprise announcements for them within the members area, etc., tonight and tomorrow. September 21st launch. There is a domain that you can go to register for the live video stream for the 2-hour deal on Friday night at solivay.com/launch. Now, here's what I'm going to tell you. This will be a big catalyst for you. So one of the things you might be able to do this week is build and re-engage relationships with some people and then invite them to join in the launch the launch stream with you on Friday. Right? Maybe send them pay-to-play-revolution.com. Maybe send them directly here. You make that decision. The thing I can tell you, it's going to be a party. And at the same time, it's going to be very powerful because they're unveiling the entire system of the social commerce site with Solivay. Okay, so this is Friday night. September 21st is launch. Go to solivay.com/launch to register. You need to let your people know this. To go to solivay.com/launch to register. Okay, so that's one thing. Next sign-up steps is our bonuses. Okay, and our bonus package right now is a $10,000 coaching bonus opportunity. Okay, what this means is I have 5 of my core programs and 1 program with movement marketers, myself and Adam Spiel, who happens to be the top producer in Team Pay to Play right now. Okay, these as the largest team, biggest, fastest growing network. Shout out to Adam, and Ruben and Katie, the top 2 producers on his team, who killed it, and all 3 qualified to head to Bellevue and getting their flights paid for, etc. by Corp. You guys crushed it. I'm proud as hell of you. Now, up till September 30th, I am offering all 5 of my core programs as a free gift. These are membership sites. Each one of these programs, people have invested $2,000 minimum to have access to. Between now and September 30th, for all of those who enroll in Team Paid to Play, we are giving away all 5 of these for free. So what might be you want? Paid to Play, Pay to Play Academy. Okay, 1.0. If you are trying to help people find their purpose, find their passion, get clear about their soul's purpose and how that connects to making money, that's the program. Second, Coach Mastery Academy. This program itself, if you are a coach or you are a person looking to create information products of some kind, looking to understand online campaigning and marketing and how to build movements as a coach, a leader, speaker, or trainer, then this program is for you. Okay, we'll launch Awaken Soul Purpose. This is deep dive transformation work. This was a $25,000 event, 4-day workshop that we recorded. We have another one, Celebrity Brand Toolbox. This was also a $25K event that we did. It was a 3-day workshop, all recorded and posted in member areas for you. Those 3, as well as our Big Money Marketer program. Okay, these 5 programs are available. Marketing, Coach Master Academy, Become a Coach, Create Products, Programs, etc. Awaken Soul Purpose, Deep Dive Experiential Training, Celebrity Branding, How do I Position Myself as a Brand, Online, Offline, etc. These programs are available to all of those who enroll in our network by September 30th. People have asked me, is it available past September 30th? The answer is no. Why? Because I'm repurposing 2.0 of all these products, and all the new campaigns roll out the rest of 2012, which means they will no longer be available. Okay, now, how does someone get access to those? Step 1, they have to be signed up and paid in the Solivay network, and they must what? They must stay on the network for a minimum of 3 months. Okay, so if you have somebody who signs up today, cancels tomorrow, no go. Second, they must also have activated their SIM card. I'm going to talk about that here in a second. Third, they must have completed the questionnaire at jointeampaidtoplay.com. They do those 3 things, they're in like Flint. Okay, in like Flint. The minute they've signed up for service, activated their SIM questionnaires, on the 1st of October, we will be unleashing those members, the membership. What will happen is all of the people who fill out questionnaires will go into my system, my team, my assistants will then take and activate them all within those 5 membership sites, and they'll be given username and passwords to access all of it. You can do whatever you choose with it. Okay, now, there's another program, Movement Marketers, that is just for Team Pay to Play, and it is $3. That's right, a one-time investment of $3. This training goes live through November, happens every single week, and myself and Adam Spiel are running marketing, high-level marketing training every single week. We'll support you with Solvay as well as any other business you're up to. Again, that bonus deal goes away on September 30th. We will no longer be taking any new people into the game, as Adam and I will be repurposing and then launching that product in November of this year, okay? Which means, again, you've got a window. We've got 13 days for you to still capitalize on leveraging these bonuses to get people in the game and paid on your team. Now let's shift this and go to another point. So what are the steps to signing up, okay? And I want to make sure that you guys get this and are clear about this. I'm going to walk you through one piece of it. Step number one, okay, is to sign up for service. Now this will be changing as of launch, okay, meaning you are all going to be getting a customized site, which is solivay.com/your name. This will have a customized link on it with a button that you will be able to use in signing people up, which means you can now email them a link and they can click on a button, sign up, and you'll get credit instead of having to hard code them in. Between now and launch, though, the rest of this week, we're still going to go the same way. It's the tedious way of logging in and signing people up. I get it. Okay? But number one, they sign up for service. Number two, they've got to connect to enroller in the community. Number three, they must sign up for pay card. Sign up for pay card. Number four, they must activate their SIM card. No, by the way, this is a little side note for everybody. If your SIM card is not active, you do not qualify for commissions. If someone in your team's SIM card is not active, you do not qualify for commissions for them, and they do not qualify for commissions either. Now, this does not mean they have to have the SIM plugged into a phone and be using it, but they must activate their SIM card online. Okay, so you might be asking, Garrett, where do they go activate their SIM card online? It's a good question. Here it is. Activate.solivay.com. Now, there's two things that you're going to need. You're going to need your member ID. This is the community number that you will find when you log in at myweb.solivay.com. By the way, all these confusing freaking sites are going away in less than a week. So just everybody breathe with me on all this. I get it. Okay, they're all temporary things as we're in pre-launch. So you're going to get your member ID. You'll need this. You're also going to need, let me grab my little, where's my little device with my card? You're also going to need the package in which your SIM card came to you in, and you're looking for the order ID. Okay, the order ID is on the outside of the package. And then your member ID is in your card. The reason they did this was for fraud purposes. They didn't want somebody activating your card and throwing it into one of their devices. Okay? And then you getting charged for it. Okay? Those are the 4 steps, right? We got to have that handled. Sign up for service, connect to enroller, sign up for pay card, and activate your SIM card. You activate your SIM card at activate.solivay.com. Now, again, you may still have some phone stuff, phone issues, etc. I got it. Let's talk about support. Okay, so how do we deal with support? What do I do if I'm so pissed I want to punch myself in the face because my phone's not working? Or I'm fired up because of this, or I'm happy for this, but I got this, or you got a team member who's got a problem, etc. Now, I want you to understand what's being built right now first. There are 3 core things being brought together at the same time, which has never been done. Never. Number 1, cell service connected to social commerce, connected to social graph. When you see this on Friday at launch, you will understand why this has been such a massive game. 25,000 people in 18 days paid for and got in the Solivay system. Okay? Now, it didn't go without a hiccup because we were the testers of the system. So cell service is one thing. Solvay commerce, which is you getting paid, is another. And the third piece is the social graph, which is what you're going to see with the new launch of your custom replicated sites, as well as all the sharing tools that is not, bar none, one of the most complicated strategic affiliate marketing tool centers I've ever seen in my life. We got a taste of it, and we're going to see the rest of it on Friday. Now, let's assume you got a problem amidst all this transition. What do? Right? How do you get it handled? First thing I'm going to have you look at is to go to the following: support.solvay.com. By the way, I'm going to put this in an email and post it up so everybody's got these emails and they know what domains to go to so they don't want to kill themselves. It's going to be still a little chaotic through the end of this week, so have patience and breathe. Okay, support.solvay.com. There are some massive resources that have been updated there in the past 24 hours. Go and browse around. One of the big ones that has come up at support.solvay.com or support.solvay.com has been assistance with your device porting and establishing your phones. They just put it up, and it's right. I'm going to pull it up right now, and let me give you exactly what it's called. It is Solvay. Let's see. Support.solvay.com. Okay. When you pull up this site, let me switch back over to my computer so you can see it again. No reason for me to look at it and give it to you in theory. Let me just show you. Okay, so where I'm at right now, hold on, let me get this to load up. Come on, Internet. Well, while I'm waiting, I'll have a drink. Hold on. Not a drink of alcohol, drink of, I don't know, something my wife brought me. Crystal Light. I don't know if y'all had a Crystal Light before. My grandma used to have Crystal Light. She's dead now. Wonderful woman. And Crystal Light was quite the deal for us. Support. Let me type this in. There we go. Come on. Give me some activation on this. But wouldn't that be so fun if I'm sitting here trying to train you on support.solvay.com and I can't even get to support.solvay.com? This, of course, would just be another perfect exchange for my day, which would be great. So we're going to try and backdoor it. We're going to come to Solvay. Oh, by the way, here's where you can register for launch too. It looks like you can register right here on the main page. So come here to register, put your name, last name, email address, and they'll be sending you the details. Starts at 6 o'clock p.m. Pacific on Friday. Okay, that is Friday. This is open enrollment. Anybody can participate in this video cast. So again, you've now seen that. You can come back here to the main site at solvay.com, and you can have people sign up for there. There's the domain we told you about before, solvay.com/launch. All right, let's come back over here to this page. Let's see if we can find customer support. I'm sure one of you guys got it closer than I do. I guess I'm going to need to log in real quick. Hold on. Yeah. And there's probably another way in, but that's all good. I'm going to backdoor in through my login in the community. Kits, go to support. Okay. Oh, looks like they might be updating the site right now. Yep, they are. Okay, cool. So they're updating data right now. That's why I can't log in. And all of you are going, tell me something I don't already know. Breathe, my friends. Breathe, my friends. Breathe, my friends. It will all be fine. This too shall pass. And you will sit here and say, oh, the days of being able to be in a powerful place, of a system that now is flawless. I get it. Okay, well, anyways, this will be available hopefully tonight. It was up earlier today. I was cruising around on it like crazy. But one of the things they have there is they have a whole porting system. They've also got updates on payouts, like pay schedules that you can check out, as well as a whole bunch of data they're putting up every single day with the most frequently asked questions and problems that people are having. You can also get access to support by emailing, and it's now in a ticketing system at member support at solvay.com. And we've been getting some very fast response times. So I know all of you want to get on the phone and call someone. I know. I get a problem with my banking or something with Chase, and I don't want to look it up in their little service area. I want to call them up too. So I get it. I understand the desire to do that. Here's what I would encourage you to do. It's called equipment support. Thanks, Laura. Yes, that's what it is, equipment support on the right-hand side. What I would encourage you to do with this, though, is go that process. Go to support.solove.com. If you can't find the answer, go to membersupport.solove.com. If you can't find the answer, or excuse me, if you can't find it at support.solove.com, try in our Facebook community and see if somebody might have the answer for you. If you can't get it there, talk to your direct enroller and see if you can get it from there. If you can't get it from there, send an email to membersupport@solove.com. You could send that one earlier if you wanted. My last advice for you is to dial 866-SOLOVE. Right? That's my, like, that would be the last thing. Like, I keep hearing about people waiting online for, like, 6 hours. That's insanity. Don't do that. If you haven't done these other steps first, you're crazy. I'll give you an example. I was in a mastermind with some of our top people on our team today. And there was some simple stuff, like Rachel Flower is having some issues with her SIM card, and she hasn't been able to get them fixed at all. And I got on there, pulled her up, and got it handled. 42 seconds. Okay? And again, who knows what it was? It's not that Rachel's stupid. It's just, guys, this is technology. Our minds are thinking through this. It's difficult. If you will just lean on the community a bit, us, support.solove.com, our Facebook group, email membersupport@solove.com, and see what happens and give it 24 hours. And if that's still not working, then give yourself a call. But I would not, let me repeat, I would not waste my time on customer support and get very pissed off and angry because you're on hold for 2 hours and because there's so many people coming in trying to call in at the same time. Therefore, their response time with membersupport@solove.com has been pretty fast. Okay, now here's the other thing to know too. They just hired 100 new customer service reps who start on the floor in training this week. Right, so they understand they are building for the growth. They anticipate 200,000 people in the network over the next 3 months, right, through the end of the year. That's a big move. That is a big problem. That is a big, big, big freaking deal. Okay, I'm going to go through some questions, and let me flip back over here to my page, and we are going to go through, whoops, should I want to do that? Now I'm back over on the wrong page again. And I realized I was back over on my PC tablet. Going to go to a couple things, questions, and then we're going to end for tonight. Okay, so here's a couple things that are going on. What we've seen is there is some duplication is everything in this game, my friends. It's everything. Like literally duplication is everything. If you can't duplicate in this game, you're done. What I just taught you tonight is duplicatable. Everybody can do this. You may not be talking to Travis, and you all saw me 2 weeks ago on an example talking to Jeff, launching the book. I realize my friends might be different than your friends. People I communicate and connect with might be different, but in the beginning when I was a broke PE teacher and I was starting in this game, guess what? I didn't have those relationships. It didn't, all right? Everybody starts at the same place. This is why if you do not have a list, then guess what your first step to do is to build a list. Well, I don't know how to build a list. Yes, you do. Use Facebook for now. This is going to be the simple list building strategy we're going to use. There's 9,000 other strategies I could teach you. They will confuse most of you. Right now, we're going to go with this. Okay, so this is something that you learn tonight, how to do this. Now, the other part of this when it comes to duplication is the fact that we've got to start leveraging and being more effective. 2-hour trainings at night is just not, it's not working, right? As a whole, there's a lot of confusion, a lot of feedback coming from the group. People are loving it, and we've got a lot of people who just aren't getting it. I mean, let's look at our training right now. We've got right now on this, not on the call line, we got quite a few, 30, 40 people on the call line, and then we got about 50 people on the webinar live, right? Our network's 500 plus people, right now. And so as we look at this, like that's not a lot of people plugged into the training. Now, a lot of them are going to download it because they're family time or it's too late, et cetera, and I get that. So here's what I've decided to do. On Sunday nights, there is a training that happens with Empowered Living Network. Okay, Empowered Living Network is my direct and your direct upline. Okay, and this group, I know people are like, oh, I don't want to say upline. We're an affiliate program. Guys, we're in direct sales. Get over it. There's freaking levels, okay? And Stacy's at the core. And the neat thing about having Stacy on Sundays is this. Stacy works out of the office. Not like her home office in Phoenix like Garrett J. White. Not like you roaming out of your office in your car with Taco Bell stains on your front passenger seat. That would also be part of my office. No, Stacy's in the office, which means I've been there for 2 days with Stacy, and I watch what happens. When she has a question, you know what she does? She walks down the hall and she goes and talks to Maria in customer support, or she goes and talks to Ryan, the CEO. Like, she gets stuff done because she's there. We're not there. So Sunday night, Stacy ushers a call. It's 1 hour. It's at 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock p.m. Pacific time. Now, I realize this is late for East Coast. You know, I realize it's also Sunday. Some of you are like, I don't want to be on a webinar on Sunday. Some of you are like, well, it's too late for me on a Sunday. I get it. There's lots of reasons, excuses, etc. But here's what we're going to do. Instead of me spending all the time, because what I just shared with you tonight about Solivay is like 1/10 of stuff, I'm going to share a little bit more, of stuff that's covered on Sunday nights. And Stacy had on the call last night, Maria Prochaski, the head of customer support, and Ryan Wirch on the call last night. Like, I'm not going to be able to get those two on our calls right now. We just won't. So there's no reason. Like, I sat there last night and I'm watching, and I'm like, am I retarded? Because I might be. I mean, I seriously might have fallen and bonked my head. Why am I trying to reduplicate the same conversation every week? Because guess what happens over that 60 minutes? Nothing but pure and absolute Solivay updates. Hardcore. Stacy creates a sexy PowerPoint. She can't do cool designs like me, but there is some benefit to having your sexy PowerPoints. Right? So we are going to eliminate the Solivay type of training here on Mondays, and I'm going to talk to you about what we're going to do on Mondays, which means I'm not going to use this call as a day to update you on Solivay comings and goings. I don't want that to be the focus of this call. The truth is it's important, and it's the least important training you need for your business, period. You know, I joke around with I run a coaching academy, and I joke around with my coaches who are training to be advanced business life and health coaches, and I joke around all the time, like, y'all focused on the wrong stuff 90% of the time. You know, what does my logo look like? And, you know, what kind of corporation should I have? And all these things. And meanwhile, you haven't spent any time working on marketing, sales, and power positioning, which are the three money-making activities. If you are not positioning and packaging your brand in the marketplace, promoting and marketing and building leads, and converting higher and higher in persuasive influence and sales systems with those leads, your business means nothing. Like, it doesn't matter what the comp plan is. It doesn't matter how many cool corporate people are from leadership. It doesn't matter that we got the COO of Walmart and the head of customer support from T-Mobile that now works for Sol. None of this freaking matters, because none of that actually gets you paid. Like, there's no such thing as this thing sells itself. Right, which means I want to teach you stuff like I just did tonight every single week. But I can't do that in less than an hour if I got to spend 45 minutes talking about all the updates that just happened the night before. So instead of being retarded, I had this awakening today, and I thought, you know, I'm going to quit. I think this was a bit of my ego in the beginning. I really do. And I acknowledge it. I'm accountable for it. Which is, you know, I kind of wanted everything to be filtered through the language of team paid to play, and I wanted you to hear it from us, from our team, etc. I think there was a piece of that. I'm acknowledging that my ego might have been in the way on that. Regardless of whether it was or wasn't, or how long it had been, the awakening repentance has occurred, and I'm saying, listen, Sunday nights this is going to be live at 7 o'clock p.m. You can call in or you can patch in the webinar. It's limited to 1,000 people. The thing books out every single week, and or you can jump on the call, which is limited to like 20,000 people, so you can get on for sure. I will be recording this every single week, and I will strip the audio for it every single week, and I will post that recording and that audio by the morning on Monday, by 8 or 9 a.m. Pacific time on Monday mornings, because I'll let it export through the night time and get it into a nice format, and we're going to upload that into our members area. Okay, so I'm going to help you out. If you're a person that's like, don't want to be live in the action on Sundays, whatever, great. Then Monday morning, you get in the habit of uploading it. Put that audio of 60 minutes on your HTC phone, your iPhone, your smartphone, your iPod. Listen to it while you're at the gym, while you're driving to work, driving to school, walking around the house, cleaning dishes. I listened to yesterday cleaning the kitchen for my wife. I listened to an hour and 15 minutes of content on my phone while I did dishes. Right, so I know. I mean, you're probably going. My wife did come down and say that was the longest kitchen cleaning job I've ever seen in my life. I was like, babe, there's a lot of freaking dishes. So I may not have been moving the fastest. I guess it was the taking notes while I was listening. You know, anyway, so you may not be able to pull it out later. Mondays, And again, you can find out more of this at empoweredliving.biz. Empoweredliving.biz. Again, I'll put that link there. But that's Sunday nights. Every Sunday night, I'll be posting that link, sending out the link for you to register for the webinar, etc. Okay, these are all Solvay updates. Monday nights at 5 o'clock p.m. Pacific, I'm going to go over what? We're going to cover 3 conversations. Power, which is we're going to talk about one of our core 7 principles. Right? We're going to talk about principle 1, perspective determines action. Principle 2, people are assets. Principle 3, dollars follow value created. Principle 4, exchange creates wealth. Principle 5, force destroys agency and prosperity. Principle 6, certainty is the currency. And Principle 7, creation is perfect. And we're going to focus on them. I'm going to have different people teaching and training. It might be you. I'm not going to be the trainer on these every week. And we're going to turn this into a dynamic training game, but it's still going to be an hour on Monday nights. I know tonight we've gone over, but we're going to go under because we're going to be done in about 5-10 minutes. Because I'm trying to explain the new game, right? So Monday nights is going to be about power. Second thing it's going to be about is what? Promotion, right? Tonight what we talked about was power and promotion. Notice how I weave those together, right? And the third thing I talked and trained you about tonight was persuasion, right? Which is really the conversation of sales. And promotion is really the conversation of marketing. And power is really the conversation of certainty around that marketing in those sales. Now, I call it power, promotion, persuasion because it's easier for you to remember, and I like alliteration. No other reason but that. It's easier for you to remember. Power, promotion, persuasion. Power, promotion, persuasion. We're going to divide the trainings up on Monday nights based upon power, promotion, and persuasion. I'm also going to spotlight people because I want you to see that people are having success because we got people killing it in our network right now. And some that we're going to bring people on who hit their first trio in their first week or two, and we're going to celebrate you too. And I want this call to really be, I want it to be inspirational, and I want it to be tactical, right? Inspirational and tactical, but I want to focus on the core skills I told you Team Paid to Play would bring you, which is not doing a bunch of the rigmarole that we need to get done. It's necessary, but it's not necessary for me to repeat it. So Sunday night, 7 o'clock p.m. Pacific, recorded audio or video. The next day will be available for you, or you can attend it live. This is tactical, dealing with Solvay updates, changes, etc. Mondays is going to be more tactical, dealing with power, promotion, persuasion, which is the parts of your business that actually get you paid. This back-end platform is necessary, but the conversations we have on Monday are going to get you paid, and we're going to have a stretching activity every single week. Now, Tuesdays, I had launched a Q&A call that we were going to do on Fridays. Number one, I've decided this was a very bad idea for me to launch on a Friday because my travel schedule was speaking events, workshops, things that I'm committed to the rest of this year make it. It was retarded. It was dumb of me to do that. I should not have done that. I apologize. But this is still necessary for you to get questions answered. And so what we're going to do is we're going to have two things. Number one, there's going to be a Q&A post that will be available in some of you posted questions in that, etc., and I'll pull those up in a moment. We'll answer those. There'll be a Q&A section available in the membership site, which again will be up and active by Wednesday, probably around 12 or 1 o'clock. You'll get notification of that. The only people being brought into the membership site will be people who have filled out the questionnaire. If you're not filled out the questionnaire, you're not going to be in updates, and you're not going to also be in the membership site, okay, for Team Pay to Play. I need that data so that we can track you, make sure that you're getting what you need, and we're able to take care of you. It's not just a free-for-all game. Okay, so that's Tuesdays then. What's going to happen is at 9 a.m., there is a live call starting next week. Okay, I was informed that that's not going to start till next week. This call is going to be happening with Stacy Wallace, as well as occasionally I will be on that call assisting. And there are a couple other individuals who are ridiculously brilliant when it comes to the comp plan, brilliant when it comes to the social graph that's being built with Solvay, brilliant when it comes to cell phone technology and being able to answer the questions around your cell phone questions, and brilliant when it comes to being able to port numbers, deal with SIM card issues, etc. This is all going to happen on Tuesdays, live every single week, Tuesday morning, 9 a.m. Pacific. Guess what? If you can't be on that call, no problem. Guess what? We're going to record it live. If you'd like to submit your questions to that, there's going to be a Q&A section in our membership site, again, that you'll fill out, submit those questions, and I will take those questions, bundle them up, and hand them off to them to be able to answer on Tuesday. And then we will field questions here on Mondays. Monday's training will be about fielding questions about power, promotion, and persuasion, meaning if your question has to do with personal certainty, It has to do with marketing and building leads, and it has to do converting and selling those leads into your Solivay business. We're going to handle those questions on Monday. On Tuesdays will be your questions about the stuff you heard about on Sunday, which is Solivay technical stuff. If we can create this separation, this means that every week you got 3 things going down for you. Solivay update Sunday night, building your business on Monday nights, and Tuesday mornings Q&A. Okay? So that's the new simple system. Okay? Involved with what you're doing day to day. Let's go through some of the top 10 questions that came up from Sunday's Solivay call, and I'm going to give you what they were, and we're going to talk through them. Top 10 questions they had. Do we have bulk SIM cards? Bulk SIM cards, the answer is not yet, right? Now, why would somebody want bulk SIM cards? A bunch of different reasons. For example, there are people who want to essentially build their own little kiosk, and individuals who want to go in and set up entire businesses. Well, if you have bulk SIM cards, you can sign people up on the spot from your iPad, right, or from your smartphone. Right there. You can be at conventions and sign people up immediately. You could have it as part of your other business. We have some chiropractors and we have some cardiologists who are here. Interesting enough, they run different clinics, etc., and they're looking at some different strategy with events, etc. You might run a workshop and run a coaching business right now, and you're running an event, and as a side offer, you sign people up in Solivay and on your team. Well, you can have SIM cards right there, and people can get activation, activate their SIM. You can handle the entire sign-up process for them right then. Now, the interesting thing is, think about when you sign up for your cell phone, right? Not Solivay. I realize some of you that my process was super simple and easy and nice. I don't know. Maybe it's a karma thing. I'm finally getting something to go with me in technology. For some of you, I know it's very, very painful. Well, think about signing up for your last cell phone that wasn't with Solivay. You didn't do any of that stuff. You walked into a store and it was handled for you. And if you got stuck, you thought about it for 3 seconds, and then you went into the store and you had them fix the phone, and some dude, a Jedi, pulled your phone up and fixed it for you, right? Well, we're turning people into cell phone professionals, and Caroline Stites, also one of our top producers heading to Bellevue with us here on our team, made a point in one of our masterminds today. She said, you know, we got to quit denying the fact that we are all going to become cell phone experts. And I know I've been one of those who have preached that this is not the case, and the truth is you're going to become great at cell phones, guys. You're going to know way more about cell phones than you ever wanted to know. You're going to know way more about cell phone service. Well, guess what? We get to, because why? It's our product, my friends. It's my product. Okay, question 2 is, people are selling their systems. Do we need to buy one? So Solivay's coming out with a system process that's going to let you have 2 things. You're going to have your own replicated site, and in the next month, so that'll be available in the next couple of weeks, like next 10 days to 2 weeks. You'll have your own replicated site with your own sign-up. There's also going to be a replicated opt-in system tool that Solivay is also building that will be given to you for free as part of the program of your enrollment with Solivay. Okay, I'm going to look at those 2 things. So the one is a replicated site. I'm just drawing this up for you. And this will look just like Solivay.com, but the difference is it will have a subdomain with your name here, right? So mine might be GarrettJWhite.com. And anybody that hits that page, everything is embedded and encoded to you. So that's one tool you're going to get for free. Second is you're going to get a replicated opt-in campaign. Okay, which is they're going to actually have these pages. They're fantastic. I met with the guys. I helped on the council, the marketing team to help them to get these ready. And you're going to have a deal. It's got Solivay, and it's approved, and it's got a video, and it's got an opt-in tool with autoresponder, and et cetera. And you're going to get this, too, for being part of Solivay. So those 2 things are coming. The replicated site's coming in the next 2 weeks. The other one's coming in the next month. Okay, so do you need to go buy a system? Well, between those 2 and what we're doing with PayToPlayRevolution.com and the updates that are being made to that this week, and again, I'm not making final changes to them until next week because I want to make sure we see what happens at Solivay launch so that I don't make changes that we get a change again next week. Okay, so you got those 3 things that are going to help you out. So just know that's what's coming. Do you need to go pay big money for one right now? You could. I'm not frowning against it. There's some trainers in Solivay right now who are very upset about, want to be very passionate about that. And there's a lot of really cool stuff out there, great systems, honestly, that could help you out in getting leads. At the end of the day, you got to get leads, period. And if these tools can help you, great. There was another question. What does the purple question mark mean in my network when I look into my network? So when you log into your network, you're going to see a couple things, okay? And you log in right now in your network by going to myweb.solivay.com. Okay, when you go to that domain, you'll log in, put your username and password, and you pull in, and you'll click on Network. And when you click on Network, there'll be a picture here that will be your sponsor. And And then underneath that, you're going to have two sections. You're going to have personal network, and personal network again is going to be divided up essentially into two groups. There's the group you enrolled and the group that the people you enrolled. So the group they enrolled. Now they're not divided up levels by like this. It's just one big hoopla people. That will be changing also in October, and you'll actually be able to see trees, essentially connections like veins, arteries, roots, so that you can tell what's going on with people and who signed up. We've been fighting for that because right now it's very difficult to tell what the hell is going on there. Okay. Now down below your personal network is going to be your extended network, okay, or your total network. Now these are going to be extended network. These are going to be individuals in your extended network who are beyond. So that would mean the people that you enrolled and the people they enrolled and people they enrolled, right? So this would be your third degree of separation and beyond, right? So I think our team is like a 10th degree in some areas away from me, right? So as you come in then, you're going to notice they're going to have pictures. If your team does not have a picture or you don't have a picture, you need to go get your picture uploaded. So log into myweb.solivay.com, click on account or network, click on your account settings, and then upload your picture. If you have a purple question mark there, it means you have not completed one of the three steps. Number one, service. Number two, community. And number three, pay card. Right? It means you haven't completed one of those three for some reason. Okay? So that's what the purple question mark means. What happened to Lane the Game? We had some people ask us too. Lane2game.com that Stacey Wallace was doing to support that. It's dead. It was a throwaway piece of software and tool. We're not using it anymore. Number five, can people ask a lot for the frequently asked questions call? Again, that's Tuesday mornings at 9 a.m. Pacific starting next week. It's not happening tomorrow. Happening next week after launch. We'll send out numbers and information on how to get access to that. People have asked, can they be part of the mastermind network that's happening across the board? There are some masterminds that the person enrolled you in is offering to you, so talk to your master or talk to your enroller. The Council of Coaches running masterminds. You'll be learning about those. You qualify for them. Many of you are in burn processes in those masterminds and are learning and getting more customized training every single week. Again, talk to the person who enrolled you, and they can ask on the way up to the Council of Coaches how that fits. What about iPhones? There's a big change happening with T-Mobile right now. If you saw this in the news and the media, there's two big things happening with T-Mobile, which, again, what happens with T-Mobile affects us. The first thing is that they launched an unlimited data plus unlock your device, unlock your iPhone campaign. This is all an attempt to recapture people they're losing and to steal market share as the iPhone 5 launches. That's one thing. So they launched a huge campaign. People can actually walk into T-Mobile stores now and they can unlock their iPhones, and T-Mobile will assist them unlocking it. Apple has gone bananas with this, in which they are allowing their device to be unlocked all over the place. There's no restrictions to one provider, nothing. Apple's dominating the market now with that. So just heads up with that. Second thing that's occurring too is that T-Mobile, people have asked, is the iPhone 5 going to be covered in this game? There's not much difference between iPhone 5 and iPhone 4S except for screen size and, well, in your plug-in ports, which means anybody that upgrades to the iPhone 5 is going to have to go buy all new chargers unless they're going to get adapters for everything, which is so smart as a marketer. Sell a product that has to have interchangeable parts, which you can monetize up and above it. It's like brilliant. Anyways, so the second thing with that is that T-Mobile in October is changing their frequency, which is going to likely allow for full unrestricted access to 4G internet speeds on iPhones. The problem is with the device and the T-Mobile frequency. A lot of that we've gotten into details is shifting in October. Just watch the national launch notifications. Go Google it. We've put a ton of different posts in the members area about that too, to kind of support on that. What if by the way, side note, if you are trying to unlock your iPhone, you cannot, if you have an AT&T phone or a GSM phone and you're trying to do this, you cannot just shove your SIM into that phone. You've got to unlock it. Here's where we've been using releasemycode.com is the domain. That's not how you spell release. You got to add an E. releasemycode.com. Also, if you check in the members area, oh, by the way, dude, I love it. Let me show you this. Hold on. We got to blip over real quick so you can see how this stuff went down. I want to show you real time. Hold on. I just got a message back from Travis. Come on now. I love showing you guys real time so that you realize I'm not like a freaking theory-based faker like a lot of trainers. Sorry, no offense to theory-based trainers. I just think they suck. So they don't help you actually get anything done because they tell you everything in theory out of a book. My goal is to show you that I actually do this stuff so you can see it. Look down below. That just came in from Travis. Check this out. Hey, brother, I'm about to go to a mastermind event this Thursday with Perry Marshall. Oh, it's so awesome. Perry Marshall is one of my other coaches, too, in Chicago, and then another next Thursday in Atlanta. Things are going great for our show. I agree. We need to catch up. As for you being on the show, I know you'll kill it because you're natural. Let me check with my co-host on what scheduled time that works with all of us to do the recording. Thanks for the shout-out. You're welcome on the support. When we meet, I could see you, when we met, I could see you clearer than everybody else. Right? Wow, that kind of like hit home, right? That was awesome. It's true. He was the only one in that group that wasn't, it was different. He was the only person connecting with me that was, everybody else was trying to fix me. Travis was just letting me talk. And he's like, dude, you're a baller from the beginning. You were just stuck, and I was there to help you out. So here's the thing. He just chatted back. And I want you to see, guys, this is called engagement. Do I know what's going to happen? Well, I know he's up to two things. He's going up to Perry Marshall. Perry Marshall is one of the top email copywriters in the world in teaching autoresponder systems in the process called Maze. It's freaking awesome. I coached him last year. It's awesome. The mastermind he's going out to is called the 4-Man Mastermind. It's $10,000 just to come for 2 days. It's incredible, right? So I don't know where he's going in Atlanta, but I'm going to continue this conversation after we get done tonight. He and I'll go back and forth, and I'll get on a phone conversation with Travis sometime this week. Now, here's the thing I know about Travis. Travis could launch out one simple campaign to a segment of his list and enroll 50 to 100 people. Adamsville has a team member right now who's joining our team who they just did a test run, and they brought in 500 leads in roughly a day or roughly 2 days. So there's guys like, so it's worth it to me with a Travis just to keep building. He's a valuable person in my network regardless of what happens. But he's a guy who over a month, 2 months, if I continue to court that relationship, he could step into this game with us and pull the trigger and sign up 100 people in a week based upon how big his lists are and what he does network-wise, right? So, again, I just want you to see, I want you to get the rest of that catch-up. This is what I do. I mean, I want you to imagine if you did that for an hour every day, my friends. An hour, that's all, 1 hour. And you actually reached out to people. See, Facebook is awesome because I just did this. You understand? I just did this while training you on phone training. Tell me that's not cool. That's cool. I like it. Okay. Let me come back over here and tell you what I was actually trying to do. What am I at? Am I back over? Okay. So there's another one, too. Travis Fisher, one of our counselor coaches for the Transformation Tribe here in Team Pay to Play, he posted an email that can help out, too. And it's Phone Doctor. So Corey, here's another one too, for helping you with unlocking your devices. This is a guy that actually is part of that team. Corey at phonedoctors.com. When you email him, tell him Travis Fisher told you to email him. Okay, that'll keep it connected because Travis got a really good relationship with Corey Hunt over there now because he's had to deal with some problems for Linda and a couple others on his team with their phones. Okay, couple other questions, and then we're going to wrap, my friends. Let's see. One downside with the iPhone 2, the app for Solivay right now is not going to work on the operating system for iPhones. So you'll have to log into your computer because the app was built for an Android system. They do not have a timeline on when the app, the Solvay app, so you can access your community and do all the cool stuff from your phone, will be available on the iPhone. What if somebody's still in contract? So this is a good question. You know, what do you do if people are in contract? You've really got three. Step one is to use your fab peg, okay, which is have them cancel the contract, pay the fee, and offset it with their $650 fast action bonus that they get for signing up 12 people in 60 days. Okay, and you could do that one of two ways. You could wait. You could wait and do it after you got your fast action bonus, or you could do it immediately. We've had people on our team get the fast action bonus in 8 days, 7 days. I think our fast action like 4 days. Besides me and a couple others who did it in like a day, right? So you can do this. You can do this in over just a short period of time. Okay, so that's one strategy. Second strategy is to just reduce your plan, and let it ride. So one of our cell phone plans, we only have 4 more months on it. I reduced it down to like $21 a month, and my cancellation fee was like $250, which means I'll pay $80 on that device over 4 months. So it's like $84 or something, and my cancellation was $250. So we reduced it down to the minimum plan. I throw the phone in the drawer, and I'm done with it. It's like whatever, and I just wrote it out. Okay, that's one. A third one is to just buy the SIM card and service, activate the SIM card, and just hold tight, okay, until you've got the resource to either buy a new phone or to switch it over. This is particularly for people from Verizon and Sprint whose devices are not compatible. Some of you bought the brand new iPhone 4S with Verizon. You're like, dang it. And you realize that we don't have contracts here on Solvay, which means you don't get discounts on phones. To go buy an unlocked iPhone 4, iPhone 5 is going to be around $650 to $700, brand new. Right now, the neat thing, by the way, side note for all of those who would love the Apple products, is T-Mobile keeps changing. You realize they sold 2 million iPhone 5s in about 24 hours. It's like 21 hours something. 2 million iPhone 5s. Right now, most of the people upgrading to iPhone 5 were not new iPhone users. They're crack phone users, right? Which is they had the 4S, they had the 4, they had the 3, and now there's going to be a flush of these products coming onto the market of iPhone 4, iPhone 3, iPhone 4S. So if you've been in the market or always wanted to get an iPhone, again, know that change your stuff in T-Mobile, but just also understand that with the new acquisition of the higher level product, there's going to be a whole flood in the marketplace on Craigslist, eBay, et cetera, with the other phones. So there's your 3. Question number 9, what is the secret sauce to our growth? So people have asked us over and over and over again, Garrett, how are you growing fast? They've asked Stacy Wallace, how is her team growing fast? Jose Miranda, our whole network, all of our people are growing at a speed. Our team with Empowered Living Network, which we're all part of, the Empowered Living Network.biz, or Empowered Living Network, I think it is, Empowered Living Network, that whole group is growing fast because why? We were the ones that held at 12 by 12. By 12, which means we set a standard, and we said the people coming into our team, they will build by 12. When I first came into the game, I didn't have a choice. Stacy Wallace said, you must bring 12 people, period. You have to bring 12. You don't have a choice. You bring 12 or you're out. And we had to, guarantee it with the point of my own credit card kind of guarantee. Now, the interesting thing is that set such a high standard, and I shouldn't even say high, it just set a standard. And as it hit a standard, it created a game that was really, really powerful. Right? It was easy to play with. It was easy to work at. Why? Because doing that in building 12 set a game that let me kind of filter and said, I could bring more than 12, but I can only bring 12. At the same time, for those who are having to build up to that, it built a process. Like we have a couple people on our team that are doing a trio every week, right? Because to get your fast action bonus, you have to enroll 12 people in the first 60 days. Personally enroll 12 people in the first 60 days. When you do that, you get your $650 fast action bonus. Okay? Well, that standard is why we're growing so fast. And it's why my team grew so fast. It's why I ended up number 7 with Personal Network, because I enrolled 12 who went and got 12. Okay? I enrolled 12 and went and got 12. You looked at my final numbers, it was like 175 Personal Network. That was just people I enrolled and they enrolled in our network. That's why it was so high, because I was building that space. But see, if you enroll 2 and 2 enroll 3, so again, I'm just giving you don't have to build that way. The person who enrolled you in your mastermind is going to give you details about what that looks like on their team, but that's the standard that I'm placing for myself and for everyone that directly comes in with me is 12 by 12 by 12. Right? Why? It's the most money. It's the most stable. It takes a little bit longer, but you got 60 days to do it. All right. Last question from last night, which was, will we have international calling? The answer is not yet. It's close. International calling is not available yet, but it is going to be available. It's just not available quite yet. Okay, I'm going to jump in and answer some other questions, and then I'll jump into the actual conversation piece for GoToWebinar and answer those. Let me pull up some, though, that came in from our Q&A thing at teamtatedplaytools.com. Okay, let me pull these up so I make sure you guys get your questions answered. Okay, oh yeah, we got a whole bunch come in tonight. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna start over. I'm gonna kind of click over here, and again, let me start with question number 1. Okay, so Steve Zober asks, under marketing and sales, would like an example of a flyer for Solivay. So in members area, you're going to actually see that if you log into myweb.solivay.com, there's an actual section in the community that will give you branding and marketing tools. As far as creating your own flyers, again, what I would suggest with you, whoever enrolled you into the game, that if you create flyers with Solivay's logo, etc. on it, they are very sticky about this right now because they want to protect the brand, and I understand it. So if you're doing anything with Solivay logo on it or Solivay text, make sure that you have talked to the person who enrolled you and we've gotten some clearance, right? They can run up behind me and we just make sure that you're good on it. But as far as tools go in Solivay, and then again here on the 21st, this Friday, at launch, they're unleashing all of the marketing tools, the branded marketing tools for all of you. Flyers you can use, pop-up banners, wraps for cars, anything that works for you. You know, I used to kind of make fun of all that. The reality is a lot of it works. So depending on where you want to go. So Steve, to answer your question, as far as the flyer goes right now, I would check into the member services area by logging into myweb.solivay.com. Let's come to Katie Jacobson. Katie's question is under system strategy and duplication. Her question is, Solivay's member support is swamped. As you know, would it be best to slow or stop our enrollments until member support is up to speed? My suggestion is to keep pushing. And what I mean by this is build smart. Right, build smart, assist and serve the people you enrolled. Katie, in your situation, you enrolled 17 people. So I would turn your energy right now away from trying to personally enroll other people and make sure that your 17 are handled and trained and are starting to build their lists, engage their lists, and moving forward. Now remember, my friends, we've said that this game comes down to 2 things. I want you to get an idea out of your mind. You are never going to enroll 12 people and just be done. Like, it ain't going to happen. My friends, it's never going to happen. You're going to have 2 things to do. You're going to need to train your people to do the same, and you're going to need to enroll more people, right? I'm just telling you right now, right? One of the things I want you to get into in your head is it's not a one-time shot. Now, you're going to go through phases. You'll go through enrollment, and then you'll go through training, enrollment, engagement, and then and training people, and then you'll do it again. And maybe every 69 days you have a big push. You enroll a new group of 12, and you go again. Right? Well, if you don't know how to market, that makes it tough to do. But if you do, fantastic. But, Katie, you just enrolled 17 people, and you did it in about 15 days. So my suggestion is to shift your focus and just work on your team and help them continue to enroll. Now, is Solivay support causing some technical issues or some technical glitches? There are. Just keep using, be patient, but keep building. People are like, well, Garrett, why would I build into the chaos? Because you are in momentum, my friends. And momentum will do more for you to continue to play in momentum than trying to sit on the sideline and wait for a month. There are some people who have been in that game, I've heard, and it's happening in some places across the network. I would not suggest it. It's not only that, it doesn't send a good message to any of your teams, right? As the people as you're building, everybody wants to be in motion. So you got to do something, even if it's you're having them build lists right now, engage their list, and even if they're engaging the list and building a temporary list that says I'm in, and you haven't quite put them into the system yet, until after launch. That's great. But I would continually have people build. When we first started building here, we didn't have the game. We didn't know what the comp plan was. We didn't have support, nothing there. We didn't even have the lane. When I started building, it wasn't even a lane. I had people in a spreadsheet. That's it. So build, but just build your list. You just may not put them directly into the system over the next 6-7 days as we continue to build that out. Tess has a question. Let's see. Tessa's question was, Is there any way the bonus deadline for September 30th can be extended another month? The answer is no. September 30th is the deadline for that. Katie asked a question on the comp plan that actually came from Mark. What is the best way to structure the business to optimize the comp plan? I.e., would you get 12 on your front line and get them each 3? Would you focus on your personal network or extended? Well, here's the answer, Mark. Great question, by the way, and I sort of see this, right? Is your biggest income comes from bonuses and income from path pay, right? So if you look at this, if you look at the comp plan, the way it's built out, if you haven't watched the comp plan videos, you guys need to. But understand you've got kind of 2 games going on. You got personal network up top. You need a solid personal network. So my personal network right now is at 31 people across the top. Okay, these are divided up into 2 pots. Those 31 people, and realistically only 12 of those people produced a personal network of 170, which actually right now it's at 192 people, I think, or 195 people from those 12. Okay, plus some over here who started building. Now, even though that growth is happening very fantastic in my personal network, that's not worth tons to me. It's worth a bonus of $650 and an income of around, $1,300 to $1,500 in income. Oh, hey, by the way, Monday night calls are absolutely great for strategy questions with comp plan, just so you know, because that's money-making activity. It's not like technical issues with like a support thing. This is different. We're going to put those in different calls. So just letting you know on that for the future reference. So yes, to answer your question, I'd get 12, but the big deal here is duplication. See, what sets me up right now as I'm building is that 192 that's pushing to 200, which will probably, I haven't checked it just today, it'll probably push to 200 based on the moves I'm making by tomorrow morning into tomorrow afternoon. Now that sets a solid personal network. But see, even there, my real money, because see, your path bonuses start at 500, go to 2,000, 5,000, 10,000, and $20,000 bonuses every time you have a rank advancement. And again, I'm not going to go to a massive comp plan training right now on this, but those are rank advancements, and also the biggest income comes. See, and your path pay is a pay based upon rank, which is total trios in your entire network, personal network, and your extended network, which is everything being built in the 3rd degree and below. Which means if you are not driving duplication with your people, the money's, you're going to have some money there. Some of you may be like, dude, Garrett, that's fantastic. $1,500 and $650, that's fantastic. And if that's fantastic for you, awesome, my friends. Awesome, then you know what you need to do. Build a personal network, start with 12, and keep rocking it. If you want to build and max the comp plan and pick up all $38,000 in bonuses and max yourself out, the max comp plan payout is $20,000 in path pay. If you want to max that payout out and at the same time access the highest amount possibly can from Trio Pay in your personal network, and put yourself at about $25,000 a month in income residual every month, you're going to need to build with 12, period. You can't qualify for stuff you don't have 12 people in your network. So hopefully that answers your question. Let's come back to Tessa. Tessa said skip that, no problem. Let's ask her another question. Tessa said, my question actually has to do with the time frame from your marketing courses. Can you clarify the PS which you sent in your 914 email? What does full access mean? Does this mean that this is the last day to enroll new people, or is this last day people who are already enrolled like me will have to view all the bonus materials? So this is a great question. You will all have access. Those who make it by the cut on September 30th, you will have access to these home study courses for life. That life is either your life or my life. If I die, all bets are off. I am not going to put the pressure on my wife to fulfill on that. And my estate will handle the issue with you, right? So if I die, all bets are off. But as long as I'm alive, you got access to them. Right? They're going to be in membership sites you can access as long as you want. Log in, use them today. Use them. Do not get overwhelmed by them, my friends. I might pick one of the bonuses and maybe work on it over a 2-month time period. There's a freaking crap load of content in these. They're big. Some of you will consume it in a month, all of it. I get it. And some of you, it'll take you a year to consume it all. That's great. So don't let it overwhelm you. All that means is as September 30th, the bonuses will no longer be available to anyone in the network, meaning they're not going to be bonuses free. You can go buy them, and you can invest in them on your own, or you can have other people do that. That's great too. But no, they will not be available as a bonus any longer. All right, Tim asks a question. Tim says, this is dealing with Solvay comp plan. Trio pay $20 per trios unlimited, correct? If it is, and I have 576 trios, I will make $11,520 a month in trio pay, correct? And I'll be making $4,000 per month in path pay, correct? For a total of $15,520 a month, excluding bonuses earned today, correct? I haven't done the exact math. I'm just looking at this right now, and the answer is yes. So what Tim's asking is Tim's saying, listen, if I don't want to rely on duplication, and by the way, there's some of you who are in this game, and I get it. You're like, I can go enroll people into cell phone service all day long, but I don't know how good I'm going to be at being able to duplicate, but I know I can enroll people into this cell phone service like a hot ding-a-ding-a-ding. There's a couple of people I know that will put 10,000 people into this as the system solidifies over the next 3 to 4 months. I already know this on our team right now that will do this, and they're not doing anything about duplication, not doing it as a business op, nothing. They're just selling cell phone service. Do you need to do it that way? No, but it is an option. Now, Tim may come in and say, I'm only going to worry about my personal network. Tim can build as wide as he wants to go either direction on his first level. It means Tim could enroll 300 people by himself, and he would get $20 per month per trio, okay, in his personal network. If he did that all the way across with his number, if he just enrolled 576 people across, or he had 576 trios, that's a lot of trios, yes, you could do all those trios on one level and never have one person duplicate and go down below, not one. You could also train and sell all the way across and just train your team to duplicate and go to the second degree and do the same thing. So, and yes, you would get paid path pay on this, because that your path pay or your total network pay and your bonuses based upon total trios, not based upon where those trios are at. So when you qualify for path pay, it's based on total trios, which means you don't technically have to have anybody in the third degree to qualify for a rank advancement. So you'll have trio pay, and then you'll have rank advancement path pay, and you don't necessarily have to have anyone in the other side of that, in the third degree, to get paid on it. Let's see. Third video on Pay to Play Revolution seems being credit time 1518 to 1538 as you compare it to Solvay. How the Solvay compensation plan works, PDF. All right, I'll have to check on that. Thanks, Bud. To expand on the comp plan questions, am I correct in my understanding that if I earn $2,000 a month, you will also earn $2,000 a month off my efforts? Is it paid at 2 levels? Everyone you know and everyone they know. So I get paid. It's another great question. I'll clarify this question. So if I'm right here and I enroll Tim, and I enroll Annette, and I enroll Caroline, okay, I get paid on those 3 together as one trio. Okay, so that's one truth. Now, if Annette, Tim, and Caroline go out, and Tim gets to a place in his question, he said he's making $2,000 a month on his trio pay, and all of those people are sitting here. The money that Tim is making benefits me because it's not about the money he's making, it's about the number of trios he brought to my network. So the first people that Tim enrolls will be part of my personal network. The people that they enroll will be part of my extended network, but all of them benefit me, which means even if it's at 10th degree, everything benefits me. Now, I max out on my total network path pay. I max out at $20,000 per month. I cannot make more on path pay. Now, the minute that happens, people are like, oh my gosh, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? You launch a new business center. So you can be here, and there are some of you do not just shut your mind off. You don't need to even hear this yet. There are some of you, though, that you can build up to 6 business centers, all under the same Social Security number, which is you, after launch here in October, will be able to replace those with business EIN numbers. And you can have 6 different business centers that all can max out and earn the $37,500 in bonuses in path pay, plus the $650 in bonus in fab pay. So every time you've maxed out your plan, you're going to want to launch a new business center because you can't make any more money than what you're currently making on that. So anyone that builds in your network at that point is going to be dead blood for you. It won't matter. Okay, so hopefully that answers that question. Let's come to Carol. Carol has a couple questions on marketing and sales. And guys, I'm just going to keep taking these questions. We got a lot of them. I'll keep fielding this. If you're wondering where people put all these questions in, there's a question submission form that you can use for these kind of calls at teampaytoplaytools.com. It's that very first button. You actually put the question in, submit it, and then I pull them all up organized here. Question number 1. In my conversation with people over the last few weeks, a theme has emerged that I'm not sure the best way to address. It seems that T-Mobile doesn't have the coverage capability as Verizon or Sprint, so many people do not want the service for that reason. I love the vision of philosophy of Solvay, but I also want to represent a top-notch product. Any suggestions? It totally depends on where people are at, where they live. So, Carol, I would say that your real issue is to look and say, you know, where people live based on coverage. There's also people who had bad experience with T-Mobile in the past and decided to drop. I was with T-Mobile for 10 years, went to AT&T for 2 years, and now we're back with T-Mobile essentially through Solvay. And I don't have any problems. I've been doing this entire training from this phone. I do all my training 8 hours, 9 hours a day on this Solvay phone. On the T-Mobile network via Solvay. So my suggestion is that you've got to sell them on something higher. This gives also a big point with the sales conversation I'm going to train on next week. Are you able to taste, though? There are 3 things you have to sell in this business. Number 1, you got to sell yourself. Number 2, we got to sell the system, our system with Team Pay to Play. And number 3, you've got to sell the service. And you got to sell them in that order. Sell you, sell the system, sell the service. And again, I'll go into more detail on that training next week. So my suggestion is if you can't get that, if they don't have coverage in their area and they don't see it as a business opportunity and they can't see the value of coming into the team, they might not be the right people right now. So we have people in this team right now who don't have great coverage but are in it, but they're not in it because of cell phone service. They're in it because of the bigger vision of building a business here, and they may not stay living where they're at for long. Second question is, it is important to keep this business simple so that others feel they can do this too. There's a lot of technical information that is relevant to providing great customer service. Any suggestions on the best way to make the transition from enrolling to activation as seamless as possible? I think a cheat sheet might be very helpful that we can send people to follow. The company has excellent steps, but I'm thinking from a marketing standpoint for duplication. Great question, Carol. Let's see what comes out on Friday with corporate launch. We'll be building some stuff next week based on what does and doesn't come out on launch date. That's why I want you all to make sure that you're registered by going to solvay.com, clicking on the launch, getting yourself registered if you do not qualify, and or for those who qualified who can't make the trip to go to Bellevue, and make sure you participate on Friday. We'll obviously be doing a full rundown on Sunday night with Stacy, and then we'll be doing a full rundown on Monday with me. Question number 3, I want to continue to strengthen my mindset as I launch this new company. Since it's new, I don't have the certainty and belief as solid as I would like, mainly because it is untested. I'm strong in the vision, purpose, etc. Any suggestions while in this new phase would be helpful. My background is not in technology, so it is learning a new field for me. There is a gap from my excitement and certainty from the vision to the nuts and bolts of cellular industry. So I'm going to give you the easy answer. The easy answer is sell yourself and sell our system and our team, and then sell the service, right? Sell those first 2. If you get good sales on those, get them plugged into the technology side. You don't have to have all the answers. If you'll leverage the process and the system, yes, you're going to be helping people, but with this new process happening next week, with Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, most of the questions should be answered, and a lot of the new support systems are going to be available through corporate coming here into launch on the 21st. The second answer to this is Carol, you're going to be good at cell phones. I know it sucks to hear, and also technology, sweetheart. One of the things you're going to find with Team Pay to Play, the biggest gap of influence and power in today's marketplace is your ability to comprehend and understand technology through marketing systems, sales systems, and delivery systems. If you can understand these skill sets, it will put you miles ahead of the marketplace and position you as an expert that people will trust, because the masses are doing the easy thing right now. They're running away from technology because it's scary, which means if you do what everybody else is doing, you're not valuable. See, learning this skill, Carol, could be the most important thing that you or anyone on our team that you would do, is learning technology, understanding mobile technology. You understand? If you back this up and think about the bigger vision of this, by you learning and understanding mobile technology, do you understand you become invaluable because the people around you don't get it at all. Look at the struggles we're going through. So on one side, it's a total son of a gun because it's so frustrating, right? On the other side, it's like, wow, So you're gaining a skill in the future. My friends, everything's going mobile. Everything. I would not be surprised to see the radical transformation in desktop, PCs, like iMacs, etc. Like if things just go completely tablet-based. I mean, it's crazy to watch it. Look at the generation of our kids. You know, most college kids, they're not operating the same. These kids are working off of tablets and phones. Almost the whole time. They do their work on the phones. My daughters live on tablets. So on one side, it's a really good deal too, right? But I can also understand your frustration in the transition. So my answer short term is sell yourself, sell the system, and plug into the system where they can get those answers. Second piece is learn it so that you can be unique and skilled. Roger asks nothing. It looks like he was testing, or let's see if he came up with this one. No question again. He was testing again. Tim said, your way of talking to people trying to convert you to ACN for their opportunities, I have my ideas, but I want to hear from you. Obviously, you would not downplay the situation for them, etc. Wish them well, leave the door open, etc. But how would you handle this in the past? Okay, so let me understand the question. So the question is, how would you enroll somebody who's in another network marketing opportunity? It's very, very easy. Okay, you ready? Here's the way. You look at it and you say, results. Like that's it, right? This fundamental teaching, by their fruit you shall know them. If somebody's been dinking around, there are people on our team right now who are dinking around with other companies and have been for 2+ years, who have produced in those 2+ years, maybe if they were lucky, $1,000 a month in income. And so when I talk to individuals in the space, I'm going through the same process, the exact same process I taught you today. Find out where they are, find out where they want to go, find out what their block is. And almost every single time, do you know what their block is? Training, support, and systems. That's it. Those are the 3 big issues. The support we're talking about is not customer support from corporate. It's support from an upline leader. Training is that they're not really getting hardcore training on marketing, sales, and systems. You understand what I taught you today alone in this training? If you actually did it every single week, and then you took the concepts of what we talked about last week, and you applied that to what we did this week, you just did those 2 things. You understand how powerful you become? And for most of you, you don't have a clue. That's why I'm going to encourage you to do it. Because as you do it, you'll start to see what I'm talking about. So first thing is, I would never use negative talk about somebody else's opportunity as a strategy for marketing. Never. It's bad. It's bad business. It's just bad. It's fear-based. Bullshit. It doesn't work. Let me take it back. It does work. That's the problem. Don't do it, though. My suggestion is go to the core of the issue with people. Why did they get involved in direct sales? They haven't been involved with ACN? Great. I know 2 of the top guys in ACN. They're freaking awesome dudes. They're the top 2 dudes. They run the whole thing. One is a master distributor for the whole company. I get them. They're great guys. They're speakers. They speak at events with me. They tried to enroll me in ACN like 2 years ago. I didn't play. I just wasn't in that mindset at the time. I got no problem with ACN. I think they're great. Whatever. We're not competing with ACN. So you're selling something different. So I would find out. And what you'll find also is a person who's emotionally converted to something, regardless of what results are, meaning if they can't see the results and they are emotionally married to the opportunity, don't chase them. Just put them into a drip system and keep pounding on them a little bit over the next couple months and just see where they go. Results, results, results. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter what your comp plan is or what your product is. If you can't market, sell, and duplicate, it's irrelevant. You know, 120% commission on no sales is still $0. Brenda says, so I'm in St. George, Utah, and I'm not able to retrieve my emails. Is there a glitch, and will this be corrected soon? I also don't have data working. Kind of nervous to share a lot if the data isn't going to work. I live by my phone, retrieve a message, etc. on my phone every day. Okay, so her email's not working. Brenda, again, follow the same process. I don't know if you've done this. Make sure you go through membersupport@solivay.com. Also, support.solivay.com. Check that out and get in there and see what happens. If you can't get that to work, call customer support. If that still doesn't work, talk to your upline leader, and they'll give you details on how to relay that to me, and we'll see what we can do to push that through for you. Bob said, I see many different Solivay groups developing tools, lead capture pages, autoresponder series. Will Team Pay to Play be creating any marketing tools for our team, or will we be using those created for us by Solivay Corporate? You will have Solivay Corporate, but the answer is yes, you will have tools from us. Email copy, swipe, etc. With Pay to Play Revolution, a lot of that we are testing right now with paid traffic and perfecting. We have 4 different models we are testing right now. And again, hope to have those up and available for you. Most of what people are building right now, they're great, but most of what's being built right now that's customized towards Solvay is going to require them to take them down. And so we've been very cautious about how we're building because we want to stay in good graces with Solvay. At the same time, we want to provide tools that will support you guys. Pay-to-play revolution right now is a tool, but as far as lead capture pages, etc., some of these things will be available, some of them will not. We will talk about those coming into next week after we watch the announcement from Solvay this week. And our last question of the night, lie, yes, no. Second to last question of the night coming in from Nancy. He said, what are the basics to having a functional business? What does it mean to be on Bluehost when they offer you options to their hosting your Solvay webpage? Just what is the best way to set yourself up for a business? So what I would do is I would wait for, Nancy, for your situation, I would wait before you start setting up your own Solvay site. I would wait to see what rolls out this Friday and make sure there isn't a site there that would be easier. Second question she had is, I haven't got my Solvay pay card yet. My number hasn't been ported. I emailed member support to the attention of Richard. I told him I did not want to port my number anymore. Please just give me a Solvay number. I tried to CC Garrett, but it came back. What is email you want things CC to? So we'll talk about that in our mastermind tomorrow, Nancy. But as far as porting goes, if you requested a port in the beginning and you don't want to port anymore, I'm not sure what the process is. Again, if you have emailed membersupport@solvay.com and you have not heard back within 24 hours, there are some emails that we'll give you to be able to respond to that, and that will be relayed down from the masterminds to the entire organization. Again, I know some of those are a problem. We'll talk about some of those in your mastermind tomorrow. How can I best maintain my personal power when I feel sabotaged? Do I tell myself it isn't sabotage? No, you just feel it. Just feel it. You're going to jack yourself. We all do. We jack ourselves. I jack myself, etc. This isn't a problem, right? So your whole journey in life, all of us, particularly in business, this is why I love business. You know why I love business? Because business requires you to experience the full gamut of emotions, the highs and the lows. The only way I have found to be able to move through the lows when I'm trying to sabotage myself is to have a really clear goal that I'm pushing to, a target, and have massive accountability and consequences. Massive accountability and consequences. If I don't get her done, there's a massive consequence. What is it? Get clear about it, and then relay to it. Again, Nancy, we'll talk more about that in your mastermind tomorrow. Are all the recordings and trainings for Team Pay to Play on teampaytoplaytools.com? This comes from Kathy. Or is there a password protected site we need to go to? For the rest of this week, you'll go to teampaytoplaytools.com to access it. This training will be up tomorrow. I'll be exporting it tonight, and we'll be uploading it tomorrow. All the trainings we've had so far are also available at teampaytoplaytools.com. You can go there and check those out. We'll be having a membership site that will be accessible because I'm going to be putting a bunch of other support tools. I'm going to release different content training that will support our calls so that we can spend most of our calls coaching you through the content instead of teaching the content. Does this make sense? It's how I run all my academies, Pay to Play Academy, Coach Mastery Academy, Movement Marketers Academy. All my training programs is we run them from a space of I deliver content, and then we work you through the content in the calls. And that's what I would prefer to get these calls to, is processing and working you guys through it and doing real-time case studies with you here over the phone and online. So that's a good question for now, teampaytoplaytools.com. This training from tonight will also be up at teampaytoplaytools.com. So that was a lot of information in one call, my friends. If I get a little shout out from you for all of our hardcores who stayed on the entire 2 hours, so much for not staying on for 2 hours, but that was a lot of questions. I thought I would throw up, so literally throw up on you. So you got it going forward. You guys got the new format we're going to be playing with, which is just awesome. And you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for being here. You guys are fantastic. And I want you to realize just one thing is going to wrap up tonight's call, and that's simply this: that power in today's marketplace. A marketer, I don't care what business you're playing, as a creator, not a consumer, as a creator, a marketer, a coach, which you all are. You're all coaches. You're all creators, you're all marketers, you're all sales professionals, you're speakers, you're trainers, you're leaders, you're liberators. This is who we are at Team Pay to Play. This is who you are. And in that place, you got to be definitely hit up with the skills of inspiration and tactics and technology. To do this, though, all of it is backed up by the formula of authenticity, which is be real. Tell the truth, my friends. Tell the truth. And the person who needs to hear the truth most from you is you. This is the first piece. The second piece is be raw. Be vulnerable and be in a place of transparency with people where you're not only telling the truth, but you're willing to tell the truth about the emotional ups and downs. One of the biggest problems, I was sitting at a Bible study yesterday in church, and there was this conversation that came up, and people were sharing different ideas from people, and I said, well, the problem is that you didn't see the flip side of that person. All you got is the quotes, and you got some cool ideas here about this person that you're referencing, and we don't know what the downside was for this person. All we see are the highlights, like a photo album. Like, when was the last time y'all had a photo album of all the stuff when it really sucked, right? You bust out your phone and take pictures of yourself when you're snotting yourself in tears and suffering? Well, I guess I did. I pulled out a phone and videoed myself when I tore my Achilles tendon a year ago. The day of, driving home from the doctor's office, sobbed 15 minutes into my phone. I couldn't believe it. And, I guess most of us don't do that. Well, understand that being raw is about finding cherished power in your darkness and your deepest despair, as much as there is finding it in your peak of light. Buddha taught a principle that when I first heard it made no sense to me, my friends. And now here a few years later, after having studied the principle and lived the principle and gained the wisdom and experience from it, not just being learned and believing that I'm wise, but literally obtaining wisdom through experience, which is this. Your peaks and your valleys, your peaks and your pits are going to come and go. There's going to be ups and times. There's a big rush. We had a big high running into this game last week here with the team. I mean, it was a massive high. It was awesome. I mean, guys, we went from 12 people to over 500 people in a week. And it was a massive explosion. And it was fantastic, exhilarating, liberating, empowering, just inspired me, had me weep over excitement, not because of the income that's coming to me because of this. That's irrelevant to me right now. It's very important for me to play because it justifies my time in building the business. But the one thing about it, though, is that I just saw the lives coming into our team. And what I know I'm capable of, what I know the council of coaches are capable of, you're dealing with some of the most profoundly powerful tactical and transformational trainers and speakers that exist in the marketplace right now. And they're part of our team, and you're going to hear from them every single week. And I saw that, and I realized that in that space, those peaks and valleys, ups and downs, the only way that I got to this place was to be able to surrender the pain and the pleasure. Is that even amidst all that high, at which many have hit a low because of technology snafus and support issues, etc., they're sitting in this place of, God, they're angry, frustrated. I get it. And it's okay to feel those things. The last thing in the world I want to do is silence you. Notice we do this with children, right? They get angry, they get upset, and we tell them not to be emotional. They get even more angry and throw a tantrum. What do? We throw them in a room and we say, it's not okay for you to feel. It's not okay for you to be human. And I'm here to tell you that in Team Pay to Play, the one thing I'm committed to as a leader, speaker, trainer, as a sole purpose-driven entrepreneur, the one thing I'm committed to in this business and every business I build and every person I get to touch is simply this. If there's ever going to be a place in your life where you can tell the truth, it's going to be here. If there's ever going to be a place in which you're going to be given the opportunity to be real about your life and to be raw and vulnerable and transparent about your life, it's going to be here. And in that place, you're going to find power. Because the power is found in full acceptance of the pit and the peak and understanding exactly what was taught, which is this too shall pass. And what I didn't get from Buddhism that blended over into Christianity for me was simply this. As Buddha taught the principle, we need to surrender the pain and the pleasure, the peaks and the pits, and ride the game in what's known as Dharma, where we would find power. That it was there that Jesus spoke of in Christian scripture, where we would find the peace that passeth all understanding. Trust me, I've had long weeks, my friends. Long weeks. 7 o'clock. I'll get off this phone, do a few emails, barely have time to put my kids to bed. Long weeks. And yet I wouldn't give it up for the world. Because the process of who you're becoming and what we're doing is massive. So take that on. Third principle is make it relevant. See, none of the stuff I share with you I do everything I can to make it relevant to you building your business. See, being real and being raw is part of that engagement strategy we talked about today. It's being willing to share. Me and Travis in that conversation today have that engagement because I was very honest with him about where I was at with my life and business. And he was very honest with me. So be real, get raw, and stay relevant, my friends. Have a great rest of your night. Thank you so much.